Namaskar. My name is Harshit. I'm the assistant professor in Suresh Gyanwar University. Today, we will discuss about the topic which is related to the hospitality law in India. Being a front office personnel, we should understand about all those laws, following of laws and following of different types of rules and regulation in the hospitality industry, because we are the person who are actually going to implement it, such kind of laws in the hotel premises. Okay, we are actually implemented that laws in the mind of the employees and as well as in front of the guest. So we have to understand the thing perfectly. Then, if I'll talk about the objective, we will familiar about the definition and historic origin of law. We will understand about the correlation between future managers and the legal environment. We will be understand about the Indian hospitality industry. We will understand about the legal requirement in the hotel operation. We will understand about the formation of hotel company, and we will like familiarize with the legal procedures. Now, first of all, we will know about in today's fast-paced world, the hospitality managers need to be multi-talented and multitask individuals. Okay, why? Because in this scenario, in the current scenario, all the hotels and everyone, all the companies need the people who are multitasking people. If you are not multitasking people, the company is not taking those people also. Why? Because suppose if I'll take an example of a multinational company where engineers have done the MBA and they are doing the sales work. Why these are doing? It's a why? What is the concept behind them behind this? Okay, why the management had decided in such a manner? Because management says that if the market people will ask any technical thing, you can easily inform them, you can easily brief them, and because of that, it helps to get more business. Because of that, it's actually reduce the lack of knowledge. Okay, because they have a lot of knowledge about the particular thing. Like suppose if I'll say, if they will ask like how many gauge bearing we will get it, okay, then easily they can say ki because of this thing you can utilize this much of gauges bearing, or you can take this much thing. So that is the reason the company nowadays, the company required the more multitasking people. Even in the like hotel industry also, if I'll say, now in most of the hotels they are removing the culture of front office manager and as well as the executive housekeeper. Okay, what they are doing, they are telling that I will hire a room division manager who can take care of, who can know about the revenue part, and as well as who are good in budgeting, and as well as who are good in housekeeping also. Okay, so if I will take such kind of people, I have saved two persons salary. Okay, I have given only one person salary, one person salary I have saved over there. So first of all, economically also it is very correct, and second, that person is handling both the department. Okay, he can interact with the guest for anything, whether it is related to a housekeeping or whether it is related to a front office. Okay, so this is why the people need multitasking people in the for the smooth operation. Okay, beside their domain knowledge of the hotel operation, like food and beverage production and service, room division operations, marketing, revenue management, they're required to assume a specialized role such as employee counselor, facility engineer, or computer system analysis. In today's highly competitive and diverse business environment, the skill level required for success today in this field is greater than it was in the past. Okay, in previous a lot, or I said that in ancient time, the we used to hire a individual person. Okay, for individual work. Like suppose if I'll take an example of railways. Okay, they are working on the old pattern of the service standard. Okay, what they are doing basically, they are basically uh, like putting one person or one individual person for everything. Like suppose for making ticket, that one person is there, and if I'll say uh, for like collecting the forms, the other person is there. For helping, other person is there. Okay, for checking tickets, the other person is there. So there's no multitasking people over there. People are actually bound ourselves in one work only, and because of that their knowledge is also not enhancing. Okay, that is the reason in government offices, in comparison to corporate offices, the government of people are more like lazy, I should say. Okay. Why? Because they are not working as per the new terms or new patterns. Okay. How they are working? They are working as per their own old pattern. Okay. Which was in the ancient time, which actually creates a lot of problems in terms of growth. And that is the reason the growth in the government offices are very slow. Instead of corporates, okay, instead of MNCs, if I'll talk about, the government offices are very, very slow in terms of growth. Okay. Now, the hospitality management has always been a very challenging and persistent perfectional profession. Okay. Because why this is very challenging, because we required a perfect work, we required the perfection in everything, and we required the person whomsoever is there has to be do the professional thing. Okay, he has to stand professionally, he has to walk professionally, he has to work professionally. The work should be in that manner that everything should be perfect. Okay, in this, so this is exhibited in the multi-phased roles like a casino operations, five-star hotels, outdoor catering, in-flight catering, and industrial catering operations. Day after day, in hundred of situations, the action of operational manager of the hotel will influence the likelihood of the business or the manager becoming the subject of litigation. Every day, the work of the operation manager is enhancing. Okay, every day, some of the things is included in the workload of the manager, operational manager, and because of that, it actually influences the on the business. Okay, or the management manager becoming the subject of litigation. Almost all the activities in the hotel operation and tourism industry is covered by the legislation. Anything which is there in this industry has to be one of the way it is attached with the legislation, but one of the thing is attached with the government authorities. Okay, so that means we are actually covered up with the laws, we are covered up with the different patterns, we are covered up with the terms and condition, we are bound to do as per the norms of the organization. So this is what this is basically, we are covered by the legislation. Most of the legislation pertains to the start of hotel operation and tourism, but some of the aspect are complicated and need expert advice time to time so as to resolve the legal requirements. Now, we will talk about the law. What is law? First of all, we have understood about the management. Now we have to understand about the law. What is law? Law can be defined as a universally accepted body of rules that aims at creating a social system that encourages the people to interact voluntarily in a civilized manner. As and when there will be an infringement or a violation of these regulations, the judicial system step into force order by imposition of penalties. So, what is law? First of all, we have to understand. Anything by which we are bound to be a civilized is called as law. Any standard operating procedure which are actually bounding us, or which are forcing us to or implementing on us in that manner that we are bound to be a civilized, we are bound to be act in a civil manner, in a civilized manner, is known as law. If somebody is not following this law, if somebody is violating such kind of laws, okay, then he will be in trouble, he will be in under judicial sections, and he will be get penalties out of that. The study of law is a challenging aspect as it varies from state to state in India. In India, it is very difficult to learn or study about the laws, because every state, if I'll say that I become a lawyer, so I can only fight in one state probably, because in other state might be the laws is totally different, might be the criteria will be different. Like suppose if an example, like drinking in Goa is 18 plus, okay, but in Punjab it is 25 plus. So what is this? This is basically a different norms and conditions, which is there in all the hotel premises also, which is there in every hotel. Probably, if you visit to Taj, they have their certain standard operating procedure. If you visit to Ritz Carlton, you will get some other norms and conditions. If you visit to Oberoi, you will get some other terms and conditions. If you visit to Leela, you will get another. So this is what? This is basically the law. Law is changing as per the society, as per the state, as per the country. Now, historical origin of law. Common law and civil law are the two major systems of law in place across Western world and sovereign India. Common law is a body of law that descended from Great Britain and is used in India and most countries in the British Commonwealth. Whereas the civil law have descended from the Roman Empire and is used extensively across the five continents. Both these type of laws work in close proximity to each other. One of the major contributors for the common law was Sir William Blackstone. Between 1765 AD and 1769 AD, he wrote four volumes titled the Commentaries. The Future Hospitality Manager and the Legal Environment. What is that? We will discuss this also. What is Future Hospitality Manager and the Legal Environment? What is the relation between them? Okay, so hospitality manager demonstrate the multi-phase role of securing raw materials, producing a product, service, and selling it all under the same roof. So the hospitality manager are multitasker people. Okay, they can be securing the raw material, they can producing the raw material, they can producing the product, they are servicing the product, they're selling the product under one roof. Beside all these, the hospitality managers has direct contact with the guest, the ultimate end user of product and service supplied by the industry. Additionally, hospitality managers are called upon frequently to take decisions that will impact the legal standing of the employer. So in case of any legal standing, okay, employer is calling those managers and asking the help, asking to verify if they are able to implement those things over there or not. So because of that, they will be happy and they will be easily implemented those things for under all employees. Okay, so this means that the hospitality manager have to work in close tandem with law specialists like attorneys. The hotel industry, an important constitution of hospitality industry, is operational 24 into 7 into 365. That simply means that the day after day in 100 of situations, the action of these managers will influence the likelihood of the hotel business probably become the subject of litigation. Now, in certain cases, it is difficult to determine what will constitute an ethical behavior. In such scenarios, the following 7 guidelines provide useful while evaluating a possible course of action. Whenever you are implementing any of the rules and regulation, whenever you are implementing anything, you have to keep in mind these 7 actions. If you have to keep these 7 guidelines, if you have to keep these 7 things, your decision, your law will be always welcomed by everybody. Number one, whatever the law you are going to be implemented, is it fair? Is it fair with everybody? It should not be biased with everybody. It has to be fair with everybody. If it is there, then it's okay. Then you can implement those things. Okay, means if suppose if I'll take an example that if I'll say that nobody can like I'm a front office manager and if I'll say nobody can enter into my room. If you have any problem, resolve it. Don't come to my room. Or else when I will come out, then only ask me. This is fair for everybody. No, this is biased. Okay, this is illegal, I should say. I'm not supposed to do this. Okay, so I have to check whatever I have implemented, I'm going to be implemented. Is it fair? Am I right over on that particular part? If I'm not wrong, then it's okay. But if I'm not, if I'm wrong, then I'm not supposed to do this. Then second, I'm honest. Whatever I'm going to be implemented, there should not be any personal reason behind that. Okay, like I have a personal grudges should not be there. Okay, suppose if I'm going to be set any of the rules and regulation or SOPs, that should not be with the personal grudges. Like suppose if I'll say that every day the duty manager need to come to my office and salute me. This is correct. No, this is not correct. This is not honest. I'm not justifying my job. His job is to salute the guest. His job is not to salute me. Okay. So that is this basically we have to keep in mind when we are actually doing such kind of thing when we are actually arranging such kind of thing. Then would I be concerned if it happened to me? Means suppose if whatever if something if I'm going to be implemented, it will affect me or not, I should react on that same or not. If I will not, then it's okay, and if I will require, then why I will do it, I'll not do it again. Okay, why should I implement it? Because if you come to me, there's no use of that. Okay, so I'll not give that. But if it is fruitful, then we'll definitely give it. Would I be in the position to publicize my action? Okay, I can publicly, I can announce this thing. If it is okay, then okay. If it is not, then fine. Okay, because if it is legal, then I can, there's no issues of publicize my action. Is it legal? First of all, we have to understand, is it legal? If it is not, if it is illegal, then we are not supposed to implement it. Such thing, they will say that if something will, if somebody will not come on time, just slap on, just give five slaps. Okay, every security personnel will give a slap to that person. Is this correct? No. Though I'm a general manager of a property, but I'm not supposed to take such kind of decision. Okay, because somebody's sentiment can hurt by this. Okay, somebody's can, like, respect is going on toss. So we are not supposed to do such kind of thing. We are always welcome such thing or such laws which will help us. Does it hurt anyone? Again, this is very important. Okay, whatever you are going to be implemented, is he hurting anyone some like sentiments? Okay, their feelings should not be hurt. Okay, yes, in some cases we supposed to do, because we know that it's a betterment for them. Okay, in that scenario it's okay, but normally we are not supposed to do this. Then what if everyone does it? If everybody will do the same, will it be okay? Okay, or else somebody can do as per their own grudges. If it is like that, then we should not do this, we should stop this practice. Now, the example of this ethical situation. Assume that you are the food and beverage manager of a five-star hotel. You are on a hectic day. You are on a hectic plan for the upcoming New Year's Eve plan. You are very hectic, okay, with the Eve plan. You have a high requirement for wine and champagne in the particular. For this, you have asked for competitive rate from your regular supply. So what you have done it? You are very busy. You would like to take wine and champagne for New Year. Okay, you have asked the supplier to send a quotation. Okay, based based on already booked parties across all your 7 banquet halls, 2 party lawns, banquet, and 3 out-of-station buffet orders. You have ordered for wine and champagne worth rupees 14 lakh from your long-term supplier and lowest bidder, Mr. Ram Prakash Supplier Limited. Just 10 days later, an international supplier of champagne send you a case of expensive wine to your home, and with a note that they are looking forward to meet you at the earliest so as to have a futuristic long-term business association. What you will do? Now the question is, what will you do with the case of champagne? Will you keep that champagne with you? Will you inform your general manager? What you will do, what part you will play in this scenario? This is important. Now, again, we have to go with our 7 guidelines. Number 1, your first and foremost reaction would be to drink at least 1 bottle to have a feel of champagne water. Okay, but on a professional outlook, you need to ask yourself 7 basic questions, which we're talking about. Okay, number 1, is it legal? What do you think? Is it legal? No, this is not legal, because you are working for the organization. But yes, you are got a bribe here. Okay, a bribe where you can get the business from that international, like you can give the business to international people, the person. Okay, is this safe? Because it is illegal. First thing, what he have done, the illegal part of the scenario he has done with you. So we have to understand that we are on the legal path or not. It may be very much okay or acceptable from a personal level of point, but does the state or national law permit such action? This clause or action or reaction need to be checked. Okay, your self check is very much required. Like national, like the clause, as per the clause or action, this reaction is okay or not. We should keep those things or not. We have to understand this. Then, does it hurt anyone? Yes, it will hurt that regular supplier. Okay, why? Because just one case of expensive wines, you are not supposed to dissolve the relation which you have created with that particular supplier for a longer period of time. So this more this if it really does not hurt anyone, then we can move the third question. What is the third question? Brief explanation. Okay, is it fair? Whatever you are doing, is it fair? Ask from your soul that it is okay. It is fair. Ask from your mind that whatever you are going to do, is it correct? It is correct with that particular long-term relationship supplier, okay, who has helped you in all the different manners, who helped you in busy schedule also of your hotel, who helped for everything. Late night, if you call for the drinks, he has arranged for you. Will it be okay with him? Is it fair with him? Okay, then am I being honest with him, with that employees, with that particular person, okay, whom is providing? No. Would I care if it happened to me? Like if something goes wrong, if we will know also, if the hotel will know also, will it be affect me? Obviously it will affect your image, it will spoil your relation, because you are disposing your relation which you have created since long. So for this specific question, every employee, whether at the super itself in shoes of the proprietor, and then relook at this question. The solution outcome will be the actual. Now, shall I publish my action? Yes, if it is correct, you can publish. If it is legal, you can publish. If it is denied, you have sent back that boxes or you have handed over that boxes to general manager. It's okay. This is more of an imaginary situation. If your action in the hotel as a supervisor or a manager is made public on TV or newspaper, will it be acceptable to you? What if everyone did it? Think, like if you are doing this and if somebody else will do it in the same manner, then what will happen? If your other employees are doing, if they will do in this manner, then what will happen? This being the last question every employee need to ask for himself. If an action is duplicated in some other forms across all departments by the member, will it be acceptable to the hotel operation? Now, according to the expert in hospitality lawmakers and formulators, the law is constantly changing and evolving. Learning the law today might make the same as absolute in few years. The hospitality manager, to begin with, should know the historical origin of a specific law. Whatever the law you are going to be implemented, you have to understand the history behind that, why it was created in that particular day. Okay, what was the reason? The difference with the High Court judge and Supreme Court judge are taking, that also they are actually mapping actually the case of both the person. If it is correct, then they are providing the same uh, decision. Okay, same order they are passing. But if it is not, they have to think as per their own matter. Okay, then recognize that the law will change and evolve primarily based on the changes of the society, state, sovereign country. Understand the manner in which to effectively use a philosophy of preventive maintenance. Okay, first of all, recognize that the law will change and evolve primarily based on the changes of society, state, sovereign, and country. We have to recognize, we have to know that every law is changing as per their own society, state. Have to see that in that scenario, if somebody, like suppose if I'll take an example of Goa, 18 plus people can have drink, but alcoholic beverages. But in Punjab, after 25 only you can do that. So this is what, but means in Punjab you will caught by police. but in Goa you will be free. If some order have taken like that in Punjab, then you are not implemented in Goa because that is a part of Punjab. Okay, so we have to understand that every society, every state, every sovereign countries have their own laws and own rules and regulation. Then we have to understand that the manner in which to effectively use it. We have to make them other people understand. We have to before implementing, we have to guide them in such a manner that they will understand properly. They will know the importance of that particular uh, law, and we can implement it effectively. Then we have to keep the preventive management, because if we will not think about the preventive management, it will be problem, the problem will be there. Okay, like suppose if I'll say that if I'll take an example of vaccination, people are keeping like they're taking vaccination, and after that they're waiting for 30 minutes in the waiting lodge. Why? Because of the preventive management. In case of anything goes wrong, we can admit that particular staff. Then to manage the existing legal environment and minimize the chances of litigation. Now, if I'll talk about the introduction to hospitality industry, the major thrust of hotel and tourism laws are to govern and regulate the activities of the profession, guests, and other related entities. The laws provided an assurance of their professional competencies and stability. In this process, the professionals of the hotel and tourism industry acquire legal status by the way of legislation. This legislation in turn clearly defines the professional roles in both the industry. It variable means to cover tourism and hotel industry characteristics and activities like the condition imposed in each category, protection given, legal provision of acquire controls, illegal acts, loss of license. In order to keep the above categories and activities intact, the following legislation need to be enacted. Laws that will be regulate the professional status of travel and tourism, laws that govern professionalism of the tourist guides, laws that will be govern the professional status of hotel and resort, food and beverage establishment like bar, pubs, restaurant, fine dining, snack bar, fast food outlets, etc. Then comes to the MICE, meeting, incentive, conference, exhibition company. Then comes to the recreation and entertainment facilities like amusement park, theme-based park, other hospitality and service industry. Laws governing the foundation, organization, and management of associations and federations of tourism, hotel and resorts, food and beverage establishments. Introduction to Indian hospitality. Hospitality definition, if I'll say, then the hospitality is defined as the reception and entertainment of guest, visitor, or stranger with liberality and goodwill. Hotels, an establishment whose primary business is providing lodging facilities for the general public and which furnish one or more of the following services, like housekeeping services for the cleaning and service purpose, for food and beverage services, for serving food and beverages, bell and door attendant services, those who are opening the door for the guest, and those who are handling the guest mails, guest paging, guest luggages, okay, like check-in, check-outs of the luggage, everything will be taken by the bell desk and door attendant. Now comes to the laundry and dry cleaning. If guests would like to share the clothes for cleaning purpose, laundry and dry cleaning will be then responsible. Then the concierge and use of furnitures and fixtures. Hotel core areas revenue earning department, if I'll talk about, number one is front office department. It is responsible for welcoming and registering the guest, allotting room, helping guests check out. It is headed by front office manager. Housekeeping department, it is responsible for cleanliness and upkeep of the front of house area as well as back house of the area. This department is headed by the executive housekeeper. Food and beverage service department. It constitutes the restaurant, bar, coffee shop, banquets, and room service. This department is headed by food and beverage manager. Food production department. It constitutes the kitchen and bakery. This department is headed by executive chef. Now, some of the hotel support areas, if I'll talk about, maintenance department. This department is responsible for all kind of maintenance repair and engineering work on equipment, machines, fixtures, and fittings. So any kind of repairment, any kind of maintenance will be taken care by the maintenance department, whether it is civil, whether it is mechanical, whether it is electrical, or any of the other type of things will be taken care by the maintenance department. Then come to the human resource department, which plays a very vital role in terms of hotel operation, because he is the person or she is the person who's recruiting the people. If they will not recruit the correct manpower, then it will be very difficult for running the smooth operation. Okay, so they are doing the requirement, recruitments, orientations, training, employee welfare, compensation, labor laws and safety norms of the hotel are under preview of human resource department. This department is headed by the human resource manager. Then comes to the sales and marketing department. Those who are actually getting a bread and butter for the entire hotel. Because if the guest will not be there, then how you will get the salary, how the management will get the uh, profit, and how they will run the smooth operation. Okay, so this is the department which will provide you the best like time for everybody. Okay, so the function of this department is fivefold: sales, personal relation, and advertising, getting mice. This department is headed by the sales and marketing manager or director of sales. Then comes to the financial control department. Inventory control procedure are the responsibility of this department. This department is headed by the financial controller. Now, financial control department is basically that which is taking care of the entire transaction which is happening in the hotel, whether it is advance payment, whether it is final payment, bill, summary, anything will be taken care by the financial department. Now comes to the security department. This department is responsible for safeguarding the asset, guests, and employees of the hotel. This department is headed by the chief security officer. Purchase department. The procurement of all the department inventories is the responsibility of the purchase department. This department is headed by purchase manager. Legal requirement in hotel operations cover the following areas. Premises. It covers electricity, fire precautions, food and drugs, food hygiene, food premises, Sarai Act, shop and establishment, public health, and lift escalators. Then comes to the food. The food safety, food hygiene. So the food department is taking care of the food safety, food hygiene and regulations, food premises, food labeling, trade commission description, weigh and measure food, preservation and adulteration act. The drinks, if I'll talk about the drinks, is licensing act, excise act, children and young person acts, Excise Act, Food Labeling, Weigh and Measure, Alcoholic Liquor, Employment of Women Act. Okay, so they are what they are maintaining. They are maintaining such kind of thing. They are maintaining the Excise Act, like they are maintaining the Children and Young Person Act. Okay, they are maintaining the food labeling. They are checking if that food label is done in the kitchen or not, because they have to do this. Okay, music right is copyright, design and patent, local government, licensing, public health, control of pollution. Now, personal health and safety. Health and safety, personal protection to equipment, provision and care of work, equipment, workplace regulation, shop establishment explosive. Now, if I'll talk about the personal employment, conciliation and aberrations, disabled persons, statutory sick pay for employees, employers' liabilities, Employment Act, employment protection, sex discrimination, social security, time off to public duties, trade unions, minimum wages, industrial disputes, bonus, holidays, and retirement benefits, gratuities, payment of wages, Excise Act, Sarai Act, boarding and lodging establishment are the part of the personal employment. Then comes to the business. Indian Company Act 1956, Partnership 1932, Insolvency, Data Protection, Marketing Sales of Goods, Contract Acts, Price Indication, Consumer Protection, Theft, Rent Contract Act, Foreign Exchange Regulation, Environment and Population, Control, Registration of Foreigners, Essential Commodities Act, Carriage of Goods Act, Insurance Act, Prevention of Food and Act. These are actually required. Those these are those contract. These are those things which we required for the business, for running the business. Okay. Then come to the power of law by enforcing act and bylaws make provision in building for escape routes or emergency exit in case of accidental fire or other natural calamities. Laws relating to hotel premises. To start hotel operation, an entrepreneur or promoter need to construct new building. Permission from local authorities and law need to be sought. Alteration to existing building for operational aspect will also need permission from local authorities with a focus on effect on neighborhood. Number one, electricity. The regulation will cover electrical system, equipments and appliances. Only qualified personnel should be appointed for those for the use of these equipment. Now comes to the fire precautions. Fire certification becomes compulsory under the Fire Act for the hotel and other hospitality institutions. Nowadays, it is compulsory for all the buildings. Okay, whether it is a flat also, okay, apartments also, it is required. Sanitary conveyances. The local municipal authorities require the hotelier, public houses, entertainment establishment, and other services related organization to comply with minimum sanitary conveyances. Water. The local authorities which are responsible to supply water fix charges per cubic meter of water, subject to right of payment. Advertisement. Advertisement in the business premises related to the specific business need permission from the local authority. Laws related to planning and design. The principal aspect with respect to hotel and catering industries are as follows. Number one, access. Access is required from nearby street and roads, both for guests arriving in the cabs and other forms of transport. Separate entrance for guests and staff in the hotel premises enhance inflow and outflow of the people. Then comes to parking. Parking and turning space for guests of hotels or restaurants is collaborated with its room capacity of hotel and or seating capacity of surround. The hotel or restaurant site should blend well with its surrounding landscape. Visibility. The hotel or catering facility should be in clear visibility from main road. The signboard should be strategically located so that the maximum visibility is seen while accessing the property. Then comes to the guest entrance. The hotels or catering establishment guest entrance is to be well designed and have wide access to the main road. Then comes to the line of guest door at the main entrance. A line of the glass door at a main entrance of the hotel or restaurants gives a clear visibility to the lobby of the hotel or the reception area of the restaurant. Then comes the international hotel regulation for hotels and guests. The contractual agreement between the guest and the hotel begins the moment the reservation request is accepted by the hotel. The contract is subject to the laws of nation wherein the hotel is located, the regulation enforced in the hotel premises, internal hotel regulations. The contract entitled the guest to occupy the accommodation is reserved and make full use till checkout date. To use and avail the benefit of the services and product, food and beverage offered by the hotel, it is also include the use of sitting area of the lobby or terrace lounge. The guest recognize the following. The reservation of the room is entitled to him or her and the names mentioned in the reservation. The guest accept the reservation with simultaneously accepting the agreed room tariff and the meal plan. Also, on confirmation of reservation, the offer price of the product will be charged as per the use of the guest. So we are not supposed to like we are not we should not like provide the room if somebody else has booked the room and under their name. Okay, we can say that we can amend the booking. You can just send a mail to me. However, we are not supposed to give that same room to this person. Okay, they have to make the new booking. We have to cancel this booking, and we have to like we can we have like they have to book the another room. Okay, the guests cannot cook food in their allocated rooms. If the guests bring in the alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage which are available in the hotel has the right to charge extra for the same. The guest is responsible for all damages done by him, his associate servants or his guest. Hotel has the right to charge for all the collateral damage done by them. The hotel has the right to give preferences to guests who reserve rooms with a meal plan or packages plan. The guests are not permitted to bring pets to the hotel without the prior consent of the hotel management. The hotel management has the right to cessations or diminutions of the resident guests due to under noise. There have been several international organizations and agreements playing a role in enhancing food safety, and security, etc. Then comes to the Codex Alimentarius Commission. FAO and WHO jointly established the Food Standard Program and adopted the of CAC, the body responsible of completing the standard code of practice, guidelines, and recommendation that constitute the Codex Alimentarius. This is an international food code. It creates standards that protect consumer, ensuring fair practices in sales of food and trade, Food Control Administration, and trader. Codex India. It is the national codex contact point, intact as a link between the codex secretariat and Indian member body, coordinate all codex activity in India, receive all text and working documents, and promote codex activities throughout India. WTO, World Trade Organization, began in 1995. The benefit of it are the system helps to promote peace, rules make life easier for all, more choice of product and quality, trade raises income, trade stimulates economic growth, the basic principle make life more efficient, they cover good services and respect the principle of liberalization. Then ISO, International Organization for Standardization, is a world federation for national standardization is non-government organization established in 1947. This mission of ISO is to promote the development of standardization and related activities in the world with a view to facilitate the international exchange of goods and services and to develop cooperation with technology and economic activities. ISO 9000 is a concern with quality management. ISO 14,000 is concerned with environment management. Then comes to the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. It is found in 1945 with a rise level of nutrition and standard of living. Now it is a leading agency of to collect, analyze, interpret the information related to nutrition, agriculture, forestry, fishery, and rural development. WHO, World Health Organization. It is established on 7th April 1948 to set the objective of highest positive level of health. Main function are as follows: articulating ethical and evidence-based policy, managing information by assessing trends and comparing performances related to development, changes through technical and policy support, negotiating and sustaining national and global partnership, monitoring the validity on proper purchase and standard, development, new technology, tools and guidelines in healthcare management. Then legal procedure. The journey of case to the courts if a organization wants to allow the case to go for trial. Should you allow the case go to trial? Factors to consider are time requirement, cost factor, reputation, publicity. To be successful in lawsuit, the plaintiff must prove the following: the defendant violates a law or a tort. The plaintiff suffered injury or loss. The case of injury or loss was defendant violation of law or a tort. Step to a lawsuit. Commence the lawsuit. Trial. Complaint. Completed by your lawyer. Will complete with assistance from clerk of courts. Statement of jurisdiction. Summons. Document ordering the defendant to appear and defend against the allegation complaint. Contents. the information of complaint, time limit of response, and consequence of not responding. Service of process. Delivery of someone, laws vary by state. Refusing to accept someone does not mean we're not served. Respond to the complaint. Primarily motion, written request for relief, dismiss the lawsuit. Partially procedure, then comes to trials. Trials says that the types of trials. Step to trials, selection of jury, opening statement, e-case in chief, plaintiff case in rebuttal, summations, judge charged with the injury, jury deliberation, rules for deciding the case, judgment, appeal. Then come to the appellate court. First attorney submit. The attorney can be scheduled for oral argument if the court decide to hear the case. Alternative dispute resolution, abbreviations, meditations, and summary jury trials. Now we have a few of the MCQs for you by which you can moreover understand about the topic, okay, which is the hospitality law, which help you to understand more about this topic. I hope you people have understood the following. I hope you know now what is hospitality, what is hospitality law, what is food law, what are those companies who are actually enacting the food law. Okay, so I hope you have now much knowledge about this topic. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a nice day.